hope you're all doing well. And today we are here with somebody who is based in Toronto. So in a while, I will bring them onto the live. So yeah. All right. Hello, Gagan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Sorry, I cannot really hear you.
I'm doing great. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you now. Much better. Yeah, so thank you so much for hopping on the live today and very excited to hear about your journey and also for you to share some of your thoughts and insights to those international students who are on the verge of trying to make a career change. So a lot of times, when we come here to Canada, we are always looking out on making that career change. Sometimes we have an experience of doing one thing in our home country, and then once we move here we tend to make a career shift. So for me personally also, I did do that. So I have over 8 years of experience in marketing. But when I moved here to Canada, so I did a 2 years program, and my first year was in digital marketing and my second year was in human resources. So it is also, it's not a big shift, but somewhat it's a kind of change as well. I am able to, you know, get to learn more about the Canadian employment sector alongside with also all the laws. So that is why when I hop on a call with you and I figured, oh yeah, it's pretty interesting from somebody who's in the engineering field. So yeah, we have a few people on the live who's in the audience. So today we are here with Gagan, and who used to be a QA engineering and now on the verge of making a career shift and moving towards cybersecurity. So yeah, Gagan, you can introduce
So,
yourself.
hi all. So, I'm Gagan Singh of Roy. So, short.
I think you need to
Is,
come closer. I'm not able to hear you.
Hi guys. So, I'm Gagan Singh of Roy, and short, long name. So, just Gagan. And I've made been in India. I've worked as QA engineer for 4 years. I started with Capgemini. It's a French multinational company, and first started off like a full stack developer, and then I thought that I liked QA engineer more. And if you would like to introduce, so I told my position or the work I do to my friend. So he told me that, so you're basically a cyber, not cyber, it's like you're the software detective. So that's what I like, and I would also like to use it on my LinkedIn. Not show myself as like quality assurance analyst, but show myself uh, as a quality, detective, software detective. It's because like if you know the work, so you find bugs, you find clues that your software is working well or not. So that's how it becomes. So when I told my friend, so that's what he told. So it's basically software detective. And
Mhm.
then I found that you're finding clues within the software, whether it is working fine or not. So what is wrong with it? So then I found that I got inclined to cybersecurity. I was looking for a more rewarding career, and it's like saving. If you want to be in cybersecurity, like if you're a fan of superheroes like me, so it's the kind of thing. So cybersecurity, it's like you are a superhero, and you have to like have some ethics. You want to save, protect people that you love, and you get to be. You don't have to wear a cape and all that. Maybe you just in your pajamas, you can save the day behind the computer. So that's why I shifted towards cybersecurity. And it's more aligned to my work as well as a QA engineer that I had been doing back in India. And why I chose
Mhm.
uh, this field particularly, some people might say that it requires too much technical knowledge. So it's not that. Like if you think about cybersecurity, you would think about someone who's having a vast amount of knowledge. You do need some technical knowledge, but anyone like who can if they have not been in the industry, they can shift into this career if you just put in your efforts.
Mhm.
And why, if I'd say,
Yeah. So I think you've pretty
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I think you've shared quite a few on, your decision making of wanting to become. Yes, I think you've shared like a few a few of your thoughts on, your decision process and why you chose to become or chose to choose cybersecurity. So I think that's great. I think next step is, if when making this career shift, a lot of skills needs to be a lot of skills needs to take place. And also, could you please share with us, like, how did your skills as in q engineering transfer to your new field of cybersecurity?
So I would say, if you are really inquisitive, like you're curious, like if you work with software, so you have to know ins and outs of the software, how you're using. If you are in the banking domain, you are in the CRM, let's say you are in retail, so you know how to manage, like what the functionality is, what you need from the software, ins and outs, and what could go wrong. And in the same way, in cybersecurity, you have to know the network, you have to know how the application works and how the attacker or intruder would like to intrude on the application or gain some,
Hey,
you know,
Gagan,
content.
sorry, I think is you're lagging a bit. Like, can you also come a little bit closer? We cannot really hear you.
Okay. So within that, like I'll start again. So with the skill transfer, so I would say that within QA, you get to know that the software, how it works, you know how to break it down. So you know that this is the step one I need to do within this process if you're into retail or into financial services. So if you want to protect those, you have to know ins and outs of the services, and that's what QA does. You're trying to break down the applications, and within cybersecurity as well, you're trying to break the network and other, you know, kind of other fields that are related to cybersecurity. And it's kind of similar in QA. If you are like curious and you are inquisitive, so you can always shift into this career. And other skills, I would say problem solving. You need some, you should be knowing how to solve problems. If it arises, you should know how to do the documentation, because you'll be seeing, if let's say some incident happens at your company, you got hacked, and how do you convey that to non-technical person or to your public relations team, so that they are facing forward. So you know how to do the documentation. It should be clear and concise, and you should be knowing other skills. So I would talk about that as well. I prepared some slide as well, a bit. I'll talk about shortly on them as well. And other skills that you need is the communication skills for sure. Like you need how to communicate what has happened as we are doing the documentation, plus the communication side is people skills is also required in this. The technical, if we say a little bit of coding as well. So if you know that, it would be make your
Hmm.
task easier to do. So if you know how to automate those things, that can be done like hundreds of time. You have to do it daily. If you know how to code or how to use shells and other things like Linux, you'll be needing to get read some logs. So we'll also talk about, like if you get into the field or start learning about that, you'll get what logs are. So logs are just some kind of events that are generated by an
Mm.
application, or the events that are happening in an organization, could be network related.
Okay. Sorry, just a little bit. We're not going to go in depth with cybersecurity, but today's thing is just to cover up more of your transition and what all did you do in order to transition into this particular role. Because a lot of times, as you already mentioned, that you do have a few experience in QA engineering already, and you're able to bring in those skills into cybersecurity. So I would say, like, my next point would be like, what additional skills did you have to develop, and how did you go on acquiring them in order to to blend in well with this particular role?
So one thing I would say, I was not
You need to come closer.
particularly
Sorry.
strong. Yeah, one thing I would say that I was not particularly strong with coding or the Linux. So you
Hmm.
need to have, you need to know how to operate the Linux system. It's not necessary, but yeah, you should be knowing how to do that. I didn't know the skill, and you should know how to know the networks. So
Hmm.
networks are really important. So your mostly the data is being carried around on the network. So it's like where the breach could happen or more sensitive data is. So it's getting transferred. So you need to know how the networks is working, the devices are working, how your computer works, how your router works, or the servers work. So you need to know, and you should know like how the data is being transferred. So I didn't know in detail about
Hmm.
networking. So I had to learn networking, and I had to know about OS as well. So you need to know the OS, so which operating system you are using. So you should need to know the ins
And
and
then
outs.
how about like what how about did you go in order for you to learn all of these?
So I chose the cybersecurity course. So I had so I enrolled in a diploma course that's of 2 years. So within those, so I had subjects like related to, they had Linux, and they had like mobile security, operating system security. So I had subjects in those. So I had to learn those subjects. And within that, like professors are really helping, and you get assignments. So you get to do
Hmm.
the hands-on, that this is like hands-on is really important in this one. So you get to collaborate with people as well, you make group projects. So you get to learn the people skills, and
Hmm.
the other things that you can do with the systems, like they'll give you assignments on working, let's say how to use one thing is like Wireshark. It's packet sniffer, so we can use that. uh, these things could be like, that's what I did in my get to learn that. And then you can pick a few of your online courses. So if you see that this is a topic that I'm lacking at, so you can just go to YouTube and go through those things.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that, because like I know, like personally from my end as well, when I was making that transition, not transition but a little bit of shift into like going into HR, there was quite a lot of things that I needed to take to adapt as well. So a lot of things was understanding more of the Canadian employment law, and for that I think similar to you, doing all the assessment in class alongside with having to do your own personal research as well. But then for cybersecurity, it would be something very different. So wherein like you can take online courses, hackathons in order to just develop and improve your own skills so that you're ahead of the game. So yeah, I think thank you so much for that. I think next things with the, now that all the learning has come up, I think the next thing I think people would love to know is the challenges and the overcoming all the barriers that you have done. So I would say like according to you, what were the biggest challenges you faced in your career transition, and then how did you overcome that?
Yeah, so I would say it's very vast. So one thing will get stuck at, like cybersecurity, when you start, like there are kind of 8 domains.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to pick up like which thing you want to be. So there
Mm.
is the thing called red team, blue team, and purple team. So red
Okay.
team is on the offensive side, and blue team is on the defensive side, and purple is a mix of both of these. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to pick one, which way you want to go. Do you want to defend your systems? Do you want to like perform some attacking on the
Mm.
system, so that what is wrong with the system? And then you have to choose like whether you want to go with a mix of them. So that's what challenge is there. It's like a lot of knowledge is there, and you have to shortlist. So what are your strengths? So if you know that, hey, I like this defensive side, I like more of the documentation, not getting too much of the action, so you can choose the blue team. So if you're
Mm.
like, okay, I like action, performing things hands on and all the time, so I think you can go for the red team.
And then
And
from your end, like which side are you choosing in your career right now, or are you like open to, are you still like learning on like which factors or which color or which team which kind of direction are you choosing?
so I'm going with the blue team. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like more aligned to me, because as a QA, I had always been the documentation side on the, you know, defensive side, you have to learn in and out of everything of the software. So I would like to break it down and protect, like get the logs are there, like how you manage that if incidents are happening. So I would go with the blue team. And how I'm preparing for it, it's like you can have like many resources are there. You can join some organizations. I would say IEC2 and ISECA are some of the organizations that you can join. And they're hackathons.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that, and you get to know that there is one thing called CTF.
Mm-hmm.
So like capture the flag. It's like a game show. Like you would say, like American Ninja. You are like the American Ninja, and you have to get the flag. So you solve some things. Like let's say you are Spider-Man and you're on the Earth 99, and you're using time machine. So one example of CDF is like, so you're using time machine, and now you want to go from the time machine to like Earth number like 101, but you forgot the password, and that's a situation you're given. So how do you get the password back? So they'll be giving you clues and all that. So you're like a detective. You'll have to inspect how you get that password back, and this is how you like keep on going. The things would go like it would level up. It's like level 1, level 2, level 3, then you get the flag.
You lost me over there, man. I think this too much into depth. I think let's just focus more on like the career transition that you have made, not just like in depth with the role itself. So I think one thing that when we really connected was about like networking. That's how actually I got in touch with you, and then you mentioned about wanting to attend the tech summit as well. So I would say like based on all that we have covered so far, like how important was networking in your transition? Because I know you did mention about like meeting a lot of people. You had like a lot of friends who were already in the same field. So how was that process like? Was it like, were you networking just to get more like understanding about the role, about like how cybersecurity is, or like walk me through there.
Oh, sure. So in this field, so you need people who are really knowledgeable. So I would say if you network with the right people, you get to know events that are happening. You get to know the knowledge. So within cybersecurity, you need people sharing the knowledge. So because it can't be if you're working on something, if some issues are happening or the technologies is always evolving. So how do you secure it? People are sharing things over the network that this is the thing, you can go to this resource, have
Mm.
a check, do look out at it, and you'll get some information that is really important to you. And then you get to know, talk with people that then you network with them, you meet them in person. Just follow the person that you like. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll post something that there is this event happening, I'm there. So maybe just go to them that, hey, you're really good at that, like would you connect with me over a cup of coffee or other things. So everyone would be delighted to do that. If someone comes up to me and is like, hey man, you're really good at this, maybe just connect with me over a cup of coffee and we can
Mm-hmm.
discuss about this. So you can get to them like, I'm starting with this thing, this is the topic that I really like. So how do you I saw this post that you posted,
Mm-hmm.
and I really don't get this concept. So how did you manage to do that? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
very important. So you get to learn from the people that are really knowledgeable. They're sharing so much great content. You can just follow them and see their posts, and you'll get a lot of knowledge from that. So networking is really important. So if knowledgeable people are there, so in this industry you have to keep on uh, updating yourself on the latest trends. So it's really important to do that. And apart from that, so they'll also help you out within volunteer work. Let's say you want to
Mm-hmm.
get some volunteer work, so you'll need some experience. You want to break into the industry. So people would want, like any employer would want, say, what's your hands-on experience? So how do you solve it? So you can also they'll give you opportunities to work with them. So if they know that, yeah, this is my guy, this guy can work. I've seen him that you get a shot at, like if you have connected with people, they'll know that, okay, this guy is doing work. If you collaborate with them and you always are sharing, they know there's potential in this guy, so they'll offer you opportunities to work, at the places. So, and
So
networking is important.
walk me through this. So I like how you mentioned about like networking with people and then getting in touch with them for a coffee chat, right?
Yeah,
So are you doing anything outside of LinkedIn in order to connect with like-minded people as well, or someone who's already like far off in the field? I like, based on the tech summit that you attended, like
yeah,
did you meet new peoples, and like what, like how did you interact with them? Like, because at what from the point that I see right now, you do have an engineering background, you do know a couple of like like codes, but then in order to move to cybersecurity, there's a lot that needs to go in depth, you know so based on this, like how has networking really helped you? Like, are you like, how often do you do like coffee chats, like how you mentioned? So like, and is there any other like web source that you are using that you feel that you're able to share with people as well?
yeah, sure. So I attended this guy. So I met him
Mhm.
within the. I had already been following him on LinkedIn. So I saw him, like, if you are connecting, you're seeing the post. So this is the guy. Like, I just went to him and talked, like, I've been seeing your posts. You've been posting about a lot of the cybersecurity stuff. I didn't know that there is this organization. There is this, hackathon event happening. So I just met him that, and then we chatted about that. We had just there were lunch, or it's kind of like breakout sessions were happening
Mhm.
around the event. So I went to this guy and I talked with him. So he again mentioned that this new event is happening. I would be there. I would like to meet you there. So this
Mm.
is how, like, and then I talked with other people who were same minded, and they were like, "Hey man, so I would need a member in my team. So there is this
Mhm.
hackathon. So I would need members." So that is how you get into the team. So if you're looking for partners or you're looking for team members, you can get there from the hackathon. And then there is this lady as well. I was following her on Instagram. She's been a professor as well. So she was also there at the event. So I told that I've been following you. That's and this is how what I want. So she
Mm.
mentioned that these are the courses you can do, and this is
Mhm.
the things that you need to do first if you want to secure. So she guided me to the certifications I need to do as a newcomer. I didn't know how to do like which certifications to get into. So that's how I did, like, go about this within the tech summit. I did networking.
I think that is great. Like, the one thing that I'm really hearing from you that I think a lot of international students over here are not doing, which is networking. And after speaking over here, I feel that you have been doing quite a lot of networking as well, meeting a lot of people. It's not just following them, but also you try your best to engage with them as much as you can. And I really hope that works well for you. The other thing, I might not know much about engineering, but I do have heard, like, the word hackathon has always been up and about. So I think that is also one of the key source.
Yeah.
How many hackathons have you participated in, and then like was it able to help you pave your way into like this career?
So I would say it's been online. So I've just participated in one. So other thing is, like, you have to be very proactive with that, because I couldn't find seats available. So you really
Hmm.
have to be proactive. People are really looking into the hackathons. So you can go to the website or resources. You can check out that where hackathons are happening. So if it's like in person, I would say you can win great prizes as well. So if you are like really good at what you're doing, it's like most of the it could work as your portfolio as well. So you can
Hmm.
show on your portfolio that you have. You can, if employer is asking you, so you run me through your thought process on this, how you would secure something. So you can use that. If you have participated in a hackathon, that could work as your portfolio and good for your resume, and really a great story for you to tell on your teamwork as well. Because in most of the hackathons, you'll be meeting with random strangers. Maybe you'll make up team with people of, like, that are completely strangers to you, and then you'll be best of friends. Or maybe you'll like, hey, I'll be going to this hackathon, would you be my partner again, or something like that. So I think within this, it's like networking plus your teamwork skills and your technical skills all working together. So if you're really good at, like, technical not in every hackathon you have to be, if you're saying like, hey, I'm not a cybersecurity guy, I'm not as you're saying, like, I'm in marketing. So there is within the hackathons, so what I couldn't go in that one, so there's non-technical side as well, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm great at, nobody's great at or having 100% knowledge, I would say. So that's how you,
Mm.
the non-technical people can also go into this hackathons in cybersecurity. They could help in forming laws. So if you're something related to lawyers, because you know that data is sometimes governed by law or other, and you have to like convey people like stakeholders. You have to give them information. So if you're really good at speaking, your communication skills are really good. Your HR on the HR side, so you can form policies on that. So you can also help the technical persons with that. So within these hackathons, there is not just technical aspects, there are non-technical aspects as well. So do look out for that. So if you are trying to break into cybersecurity and you're not having the non-technical, you're having the, you know, non-technical background is there with you, and you're saying that you're shying away from these hackathons.
Hmm. I think one thing that really clicked me just now when you were saying it was, how these hackathons could really potentially become an experience in your portfolio. Because a lot of times when we are talking to students, or when I hear from people who are talking to me regarding mentorship, is how do I gain that Canadian experience? And like doing participating in a hackathon might not be like a proper job, but it could be like a project that you're working on that could potentially help pave your way into showcasing that yes, you have actually worked with a lot of people, and you've worked with people over here. And I think it's not just about the hard skills that is coming in by participating in these hackathons, but it also shows that you're able to come out of your comfort zone to be able to meet new people for the first time and just start working with them. I understand that sometimes in these hackathons things could be a lot of pressurizing because people's expectation could be different. But then I think that's a really good thing for you and for all those people who are listening out there with us today. I, Participating and networking in events would really, or even volunteering, is one of the ways for you to open like multiple doors. So I think, Gagan, moving on to the next thing, I would want to check with you. So, what kind of advice do you have to give international students when they are thinking about making a career shift?
Yeah. So if you're thinking that this is for, one thing that comes to mind is like, it is for technical people. No.
Mhm.
So if you are like been transitioning, so as you have mentioned, so if you are from culinary background, you're from military background, you have done like other background. So if you want to change, you can switch into this profession easily. It's not for just, if you are in love, yeah, you know, a continuous learning, you are curious, you are like problem solver. I think these is this stream or this career is for you. So it's not just for technical people. Anyone who wants to like solve problems and be having fulfilling career, so you can transition into it. It's like you're saving the day, as I mentioned earlier. It's like being a superhero. So you're
Mhm.
protecting people, you're protecting data. So if anyone is having like any financial fraud, you can prevent that. So it's like being a superhero as well, because if someone is having a hard time within that, so it could be that. And my advice, if it's like that, so you can join some courses that you like. Just go through them. There's always this thing that you can always, let's say a trial, something you can take a trial, see that it fits your needs. And most of the time there are like other things like scholarships. Try for those if you're really good at and you're passionate and about your career or cybersecurity, you want to protect that, so you can
Mhm.
always opt for these so I would say scholarships. And other advice I would give is just be curious. In this field, you have to be curious how to break, how to know new things. Continuous learner, you have to be that. And otherwise, if you are thinking that it's really tough, there is too much, just go for like join organizations. I would say ISECA, ISC2, join them. You'll get free courses, your
Mhm.
certifications. If you're thinking about that, I need to get certifications. How do I pay for that? They are, there is a lot of demand for cybersecurity professionals. So they want people to get into this profession so that they protect them. So you can join these organizations, ISECA and ISC2. Join them, and you can start on your career, and they'll have a mentorship as well. So if you're really, stuck at somewhere that you want someone's good advice, so you can opt for like membership. It's just $35. I would say I'm also a student member. You can join ISECA. So they all organize many things. So you could volunteer at that, be a volunteer in their events, or get into the hackathon. So they are always sharing information. So join these, and this would be like really helpful for you. So that's my advice for international students.
And then talking about advice and like mentorship, like how are you trying to manage, how are you managing all of this? Sorry, let me just combine these two in one. So earlier you mentioned about like free trials, right? So like, or like trying out a new field before making the decision to dive into it. Did you make like, what was your process when you were doing your QA engineering? Like you mentioned that you had over 4 years of experience on there, and what was the click that made you want to make that jump from a QA into cybersecurity? And then at the same time, right now, are you using any, like right now, do you have anyone who is mentoring you through your way, through your journey? Or like, can you walk me through that?
So as I already mentioned, that I've always been fascinated by superheroes. I'm reiterating again and again. So I wanted something that is like very fulfilling. So I
Hmm.
already knew that QA is fulfilling. That I break down systems so that when a software is being rolled out, it's bug free. If you are
Hmm.
doing something, we are chatting on this application. So I won't want it shutting it down in between. So that's not what I would like. So I thought that with I have been, it's very. I think I want something new, much more fulfilling. So within cybersecurity, there's always this thing that you're protecting people from harm, because you can
Hmm.
see that there are bad actors like hackers that are trying to get your data. They're disrupting functions, and you see that people are getting. If you see if someone is victim of identity fraud, so many things could happen, go wrong. It takes the mental toll as well on your health, and your mental health goes down. So I don't want to see like my loved ones or other people go through that. So that's what I thought, that I this is really fulfilling career, and I'm already into this QA. It was like you need to have like curiosity of how things are working. So, and this was the same with cybersecurity. I had to know how networks or system as a whole is working, and where are the flaws. So in as a QA also, I find flaws, that this is the flaw in the system and we need to fix it. So same way, this is the security or like the vulnerability in our system. We need to fix this. That's how you do, cybersecurity. So then it clicked that this is a good option, and there are many jobs as well. So if you are thinking that not a lot of jobs, so I would say there is very good amount of skill shortage in the cloud security sector. So if you're working, so that is one I was telling about. So many domains are there. So you could choose cloud security. It is having like a huge number of like vacancies, and many
Hmm.
people are not into this. So you can join it, combine it. So you'll have to learn cloud plus security. You can do that, and if you go through, ISC2s, there. I was reading a report just yesterday. So at least 4.4 million jobs are around the world related to cybersecurity, and a huge shortage. So people are not skilled. So if you're looking to transition into something that is really, kind of, there's like it has been growing the number of like people into this field, but still it's like a bit new, and
Hmm.
you can join in. And I would say starting is also good. So if you are into this,
So the money is also good in
yeah,
this. That is
money.
also one of the, that is also one of the main key reasons. And then I think in terms of stability as well, right? Like if you're looking like in the North American, like Canada and US, there's quite a lot of high, like from what I've heard is like there's a lot of places that you can go with once you have this skill. So either it be like Toronto also has quite a lot of opportunities for cybersecurity, Vancouver, or even like if you go to Silicon Valley in the US, and it's a high paying job. It's also, I know at the same time there's a lot of time and effort that needs to take place in there, but it's overall it's nice to hear. And what advice do you have for students who are, let's say, who are currently studying or who's looking to make that transition as well?
So I would say those who are currently studying. So I would say join the students, or like be open up if you have the opportunity. Open up something called like the cybersecurity group or club in your college. So I think there you will get some the people skills and other kind of like uh, help from your professors, so they can help you conduct your own hackathons. You can do it
Mhm.
in your college as well. So if you have that, you'll get leadership qualities. So everyone, like every employer would be looking for leadership qualities. So if you're heading a club that is related to cybersecurity, that shows that you have a great interest in cybersecurity. Plus you are able to take not just the technical aspects, you can manage leadership as well, how the budgets are there, and every other stuff. So you can maybe coordinate with people, managing people. So you can do that, start a club if you have like the capacity, or there are options available in your university or college. And those who are starting new, I would say that it's always like a great career. As I've mentioned, you don't have to know coding, you don't have to know every technical stuff. If you're thinking that coding is there, other stuff, technical stuffs are there, they are there. But you can always start, and you can always go from, like, if you're been a cook, sure, you can join in. If you are like nursing, so I've heard like I've been joining some webinars. So one person was a nurse. She had been
Mhm.
doing that for 20 years. So she also shifted into this cybersecurity. So if you're thinking how a nurse could get into this, so she also got into this. So it's not a profession that is really limited to technical people. No, it's not. So you can also transition, do that, do make that. And if you're passionate about like securing people and like for good cause, so you're like internal satisfaction also comes in. So you're really
Mhm.
satisfied with the amount of work. So if you go through the surveys of people so who are working in cybersecurity, they're really satisfied with it, because it's really a satisfying job, because you know that what you are doing is helping people out and protecting people. So you're the
And then
superhero. Yeah.
the other thing is like also the way forward is it's vast. You can either go into like financial sector with banks, you can even go with credit cards, you can go with like hospitals. There's a whole lot of industries that you can tap into because all of these industries. So from your perspective, like which industry do you see yourself moving into once you have graduated from here?
So I've already worked in financial sector. So that's what I'm looking for. So
Mhm.
I'm open to everything. So it's like the environment or what I'm inclined to at that time. So I'd already worked in financial sector with a bank. So I do have some knowledge on that. So maybe I would mostly, firstly, I would like go to financial, then look into other industries that, yeah, there are many, not like you can go to, like I'm saying, like hospitals, you can go
Yeah.
any industry. They'll, everyone, retail, they will also want to secure people's data, everything. Everyone wants like their systems to be secure, because you don't want to be into this ransomware, other stuff. So many things could happen. So industries, every industry, I think it's open as internet, AI, new thing is coming, AI. So I think there is another new stuff or new industry. So how to secure AI. So if you're
Mhm.
thinking that cybersecurity is just limited to this cloud thing that I've seen that it's growing exponentially. I think AI is also, if you have been reading in the market, so AI is also going exponentially, and so is this. security need for securing the AI. So how we are
Mhm.
using that. So that's also a fascinating field that you could join in if you are really interested in AI and then
Mhm.
securing it.
And then the other thing coming back is like where what does the future of cybersecurity look like right now from you?
I would say for now, the report did come in. So there have been like some cutoffs within this one. So this year, if you are transitioning, if you're thinking, so a bit dicey, I would say.
Hmm.
But in the future, as I already told, that there are a lot of openings. So
Yeah.
if you have the skills and you're really good at that, so I think you can earn really good money, and there's like huge opportunity. So for now, for this year, I would say I've seen that within the reports. So there have been cutbacks if you've been into this industry. So budget restrictions, you want to do something really awesome, there is something that, so I don't want to like sugarcoat it that really good and you should move. So right now the condition is I would say cutbacks are there, but not for like I would say whosoever is contemplating getting into this, you can get into this. It's just the outlook for now, the economic conditions right now. But there are too many openings. If you get the certifications, you prove yourself that you're really good at that. And one thing I also wanted to tell that if you know coding, if you get to know the
Hmm.
coding part of cybersecurity, you could transition into something else as well. Let's say you don't want and you go into cybersecurity, so you can transition like maybe into app development or other things if you learn coding as well. So it's not limited to cybersecurity. You could go into some other sectors if you learn cybersecurity. So it's like many paths open up. It's not just this cybersecurity you're stuck into. You
Hmm.
go into anything like system administrator. So if you know about networks, you could become a system administrator. It's not
Mm.
necessary to become a cybersecurity guy. If you know coding well, you like to make things, break things, you can become QA. It's still
Mm.
there. So you can go through this traditional path. You can become a developer as well. So if you gain the skills, you can, you know, pivot into anything that you like.
Mm. All right, thank you so much. I think we are almost running out of time. So, is there anything else you would like to share with fellow students, international students who have moved here, who are still studying, or who are still trying to find their way?
Yeah.
Because a lot of time, a lot of time we know that when people they come here, they come with a one mindset, but then having tapped into various different industries, things change quite often. Like I've heard of people who they came here with like from a marketing experience, they came here and they move into culinary. That is also a big change. But then the like how do you pivot that, or like that is the process that everyone needs to have of their own. But is there anything else you would like to share with fellow students?
Yeah, I would say so. I've been working part time at a restaurant myself. So I would say you gain other experiences. So if you do that, like let's say you do not get into your let's say in starting you don't get into the industry. So you say I'm in culinary thing, so how can I go into that? So I'm heard many people, they have been in they had different experiences, they moved into cybersecurity. So if I'm in the culinary sector right now, what I'm learning is like organizing things, remembering things in priority. Like you'll have to prioritize things in your cybersecurity career as well. This alert is really high, this is affecting our system way too much. So how do I do that, or how do I gain that skills? So I'm learning that from my experience within a restaurant. So okay, this thing needs to be done quickly, this order goes to no first, and this is like the priority list. So this guy has allergy, I have to remember that. So this same thing could be applied to cybersecurity. Okay, oh, this system works like this. This thing has to be done first. I can't go about it. Like if you're making something, there is a process.
There's
If
a
you're
process
making,
of everything.
yeah. So if you're making a coffee, so you need to first put in like the beans, other stuff. So how you do that? So you learn that everything. If you think that you are not into the right field, or like nothing, the experience that you're getting is doesn't count. Everything does count. So if you are able to express how your your experiences to anyone, if you're a good storyteller, then you can easily convey them that you're a good fit for the job if you know the skills and you know how to transfer them. So you always learn something, like I would always say, learn some transferable skills from the job you're doing. So if
Mm.
what I have learned, the transferable skills, prioritize things so that I can easily mention anyone. So if any interview happens or I talk with someone, I can say I have learned how to prioritize by working in a restaurant and part time. It's like that's what you can do. And apart from that, please stay into your field as well. So how I would say that if you volunteer for, I know there's no money, and some people I have heard that there is no money in volunteering. So why you're doing this? So I've
Mm.
learned students come in, they are young, they don't know. I think they compare something with money. So if you are thinking that I'm not getting any money, so that's not the thing. You're getting skills. That's what really is important for you. Do try to get out of your comfort zone. Do make a time for your job as well, what you're doing. But if the career is what you have like chosen firsthand, so stick with it as well. So I would say the that's just my opinion. How you're doing, how your finances are. So I would say work 20-25 hours. So 20 hours is more than enough, and then focus on your current field that you really want. So it would, in the short term, you'll maybe not gain too much, but in the long term, you can gain way too much than you could expect.
Okay, thank you so much again for that. Just before we end, a comment just came in from our YouTube.
Yep.
So somebody just said, "Thank you so much, Arun and Gagandeep, for this info session. As someone new-ish to the amazing field of cybersecurity, my advice is for anyone transitioning to this field, if you have to be very intentional. So you
Yeah.
need to know."
So that's a really good thing. So intentions are really important for, like, I think I would say the comment is really I think touching. So intentional, and that's what I've said, like curious. So go with the intentions and curiosity, and you'll land this amazing job in cybersecurity, I would say.
Okay, thank you so much. And I think that wraps up our session for today. So for our viewers who are watching, thank you so much for joining us. And stay tuned as we have another session coming in the next 2 weeks with Fikayo. And we would be covering topics for international students as well. He would be sharing a lot of his tips and insights. So stay tuned. I believe November 18th. We'll keep you updated on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. So yeah, thank you for today. And Gagan, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
And
you.
I hope this session was resourceful for all our viewers and for yourself as well.
Yep.
And I look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.